I've done a lot of videos about investing via GCash. You can invest in mutual funds and UITFs via G funds. And on the other hand, you can also speculate and invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies via GCrypto. But I have to admit that I actually haven't been using GInvest as much in these last few months. I've been using Maya a whole lot more. And while GCash was the first among these two to offer investments, Maya has really pulled ahead, and dare I say it, is already the better product. And no, this isn't a sponsored video. Just like with all my previous videos, I'm sharing with you the investment strategies and platforms that I'm using firsthand. Whether it's through managed funds or crypto, there is this one feature that really is setting Maya aside from GCash. What's this one feature and how is my portfolio looking like under Maya? This is what I'll look to share in this video. So enough of this intro and let's go. But before anything, if you are new to this channel, hi, I'm Mark. It's nice to meet you. In this channel, I talk a little bit about lifestyle, but I mostly talk about business and investments. So yes, in this video, I'm glad to share with you one of the most accessible investment platforms that we have in the Philippines today. As mentioned, when Maya launched this a few years ago, GCash was already ahead of the game with GInvest. For the most part, Maya copied the moves of GCash, GInvest, offering pretty much the same funds in its platform. But in recent months, Maya has really pulled ahead, offering a lot more to us users. Under the section of Grow My Money under funds, Maya initially launched with Seedbox Philippines as its main partner. So this is the same again as GCash GInvest. But in recent months, they also started offering managed funds under Investograms. Offering Investograms alongside Seedbox Philippines is actually one of the new adjustments, the new features that Maya has employed. Let's move on to number 2. When Maya initially launched its stock investment section, it was just with one broker that you could work with. So this is similar to the GCash setup wherein GCash is working with AB Capital. For Maya, you now have 3 options that you can choose from in terms of local stock brokerages. The first here would be Dragonfly Securities. The second would be Yapster E-Trade Incorporated. And the third would be PhilStocks Financial. So I won't actually get into each stock brokerage. There will be competing fees from each one, but this isn't the purpose of this video, so I'm skipping that. So I'm just letting you know in this first part of the video that Maya is actually offering us a lot more options in terms of how we can invest. Let's now move on to the second part of this video. I'm sharing here my portfolio and this one key feature that I am really loving about Maya. So let me get my phone. Let's open Maya. When Maya Funds launched over 2 years ago, I did start investing via Seedbox Philippines. There were actually 2 funds that were available in Maya that weren't in GCash. So this would be the ATRAM Global Allocation Feeder Fund, and the second would be the ATRAM Global Financials Feeder Fund. I also shared this in my video last year. So let me update you what's gone on with my portfolio since that last video. For the ATRAM Global Allocations Feeder Fund, I've invested 1,000 pesos. I haven't touched it. I haven't added onto it. Its current market value as of the date of the shooting, the current value of this fund is at 1,191 pesos and 56 centavos. So in these last 2 years, this fund has a return of just under 12%. Let's move on to the second fund, the ATRAM Global Financials Feeder Fund. I also invested 1,000 pesos in it. Its current market value is at 1,725 pesos and 44 centavos. So this is a return of over 70%. So those are the first 2 funds that I invested in over 2 years ago. Let's move on to the third fund that I started investing in these last few months. So this third fund that I newly invested in is the ATRAM Philippine Sustainability and Development Growth Fund. So unlike the first 2, this is actually focusing on the local market. For this fund, I've invested a total of 4,150 pesos. Its current market value is at 4,398 pesos and 78 centavos. So I have a 240 peso return, representing more or less a 6% return. So what I've actually done with this fund is that I've invested the minimum as often as possible, 50 pesos per day. Maya doesn't actually let you invest again until the transaction goes through. So there is a more or less 3 to 4 day lead time. So for this fund, I've actually invested 50 pesos for a total of 83 days. Those 83 days were more or less spread across around 3 to 4 months. Why am I investing so little? So again, this is the principle of cost averaging. I've mentioned this frequently. Doing it for the S&P 500 UITFs that I invest in, I've adapted the same principle, this time for the local Philippine market. Since I'm seeing that the local market is even more volatile than the global markets, I see that minimal investing actually goes a long way, and this was an experiment that I've been doing. Unlike when we invest in Philippine stocks and we work with that 8,000 peso rule, so anything we buy, whatever stocks, may it be Globe, Ayala Land, or Mega World, we are always working with that minimum of 8,000 pesos, just so we are above that threshold to make the most of the charges that the brokerages impose. So for this minimal 50 peso frequent investment that I'm doing, I'm actually seeing that it's working out. Yes, I've invested in it in the last 3 to 4 months, not really thinking about when to come in, and just doing it as often as possible. My 4,150 pesos invested has now resulted into a 6% return. That brings the total of my investments at 6,150 pesos. Its current market value, again at the time of the shooting, is at 7,315 pesos and 78 centavos. In terms of percentages, this is just below 19%. So you might be wondering, what's this one feature that I've been talking about? Well, it's exactly that. It's me being able to quickly share with you what I've invested in and what its current market value. This feature, unfortunately, is not in GCash GInvest. So the problem with doing your investments there is that you're not really able to see what you've invested and what are your returns. So you're sort of in the blind. I mean, unless you have taken note of your investment each time and you probably have recorded this in a separate sheet of paper or maybe an Excel sheet, you would have to take note of what you've invested before you can actually see what are your returns. So for Maya funds, you're able to see this instantly, whether it's just one fund or your total portfolio. This is especially helpful again with my daily investment strategy. Well, maybe not daily, but my frequent investing strategy. It's very hard to see the returns of cost averaging if you don't instantly see what you are investing and what you are getting. So this is the one feature that I'm talking about. And the good news is this feature is not only just available in Maya funds, it's also in Maya Crypto. So with this feature, I am also able to share with you my portfolio under Maya Crypto. I've actually employed the same cost averaging strategy. Cost averaging is usually done for the S&P 500, for stocks and other UITFs or mutual funds. I know a lot of us go into crypto, very speculative, putting in a large sum of money right away. And I've done that in my earlier portfolios as well when I invested via CoinsPH many years ago. But since Maya has this feature of you being able to monitor again what you've invested and what its current market value, I saw that this might be a great opportunity to try and experiment, try the cost averaging strategy. In the last few months, I've been investing in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and Chainlink as the 4 cryptocurrencies that I'm experimenting with in terms of how I can cost average and see if there's actually some return. So for Maya Crypto, here are my positions. For Ethereum, I've invested 1,684 pesos and 98 centavos. The current market value of my Ethereum in Maya is 2,567 pesos and 13 centavos. This is a return of 882 pesos. So hold on, crypto moves very quickly. So what I'm saying might not be matching the screenshots, but give me a little wiggle room here. So for my Ethereum, I have a return of over 34%. Let's move on to Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, I've invested 1,524 pesos and 93 centavos. I have a return of 283 pesos and 28 centavos, which comprises over 15%. Its current market value is 1,808 pesos and 19 centavos. For Cardano, I've invested 1,304 pesos and 95 centavos. Its current market value is 1,420 pesos and 37 centavos. This is a return of just over 8% or 115 pesos. Let's move on to the last. Let's move on to Chainlink. My investment in Chainlink of 649 pesos and 95 centavos has a current market value of 736 pesos and 15 centavos. This is a return of over 86 pesos or nearly 12%. Putting all that together, again, crypto is moving very quickly. More or less, I have a total investment of 5,164 pesos and 81 centavos. This has a current market value of 6,535 pesos and 53 centavos, comprising a return of nearly 21%. this is a value of 1,371 pesos and 59 centavos. Kind of hard doing this crypto move so quickly. But anyway, what I hope I am able to share here is this strategy of cost averaging. Again, you might be thinking, why am I investing so little? 50 pesos a day, here and there. I guess what I wanted to impart here is that I guess investing and speculating in these doesn't really have to be hard on your pockets. 50 pesos, 100 pesos, something that a lot of us can probably spare each day. I mean, that does add up at the end of each month. If you can actually invest a whole lot more, then great. But this principle is really about not timing the market, just really regularly investing in it, putting in money that again doesn't hurt your pockets. So, does cost averaging also apply in the context of the local Philippine stock market? Not directly. This one is through a UITF. So again, it's the ATRAM Philippine Sustainability Development and Growth Fund. And for this one, it's just been a few months. So we see that there are actually good returns. And sometimes this may not be automatically a return right away, but that's only a good sign that the market may be dipping and you can continue the regular investing strategy. So this cost averaging apparently can also work for crypto. We can come in this minuscule positions every day or every other day or whenever you want to, just have some regularity with it. And I'm happy to share here that my crypto positions for these 4 cryptocurrencies have actually come out with a return even after just a few months. Again, this is not guaranteed, but as of the time of this video, I'm happy to share that there are definitely returns and the strategy of cost averaging definitely does work. So yes, that's it. It's this ability of Maya to display what you've invested and what you're getting in return. I've mentioned it in my previous video that I really wish that GCash GInvest had this. I mean, I don't think it's too hard. I'm sure ATRAM, Seedbox, and its other partners, ALFM, do have our starting positions anyway, and we have the cost there. So I don't know why they haven't done it, but for the meantime, that this feature is limited to Maya as of this moment between the two. So what do you think about this? What do you think about the strategy of cost averaging? Do you like Maya better as well? Or do you like GCash better? Let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, guys, and happy investing.